Day 1. Day 2. The 5,000 steps done. That's just me doing this over and over again. Okay, see you soon. Second goal, don't fall off. First goal, don't fall off. Second goal, hit 10,000 steps. I feel not good right now. Why does this week seem so long? Have you ever hit 10,000 steps in a day? I have. Have I ever averaged it for a week? Absolutely. Have I averaged 10,000 steps for a month? Yes, I've done that before. But for some reason, I cannot consistently hit 7 days of 10,000 steps. That's right, Monday through Friday. I can hit it on days. I can hit it for some of the days. But hitting it every day of the week, for some reason, I just can't do it. So what I want to try to do is hit 10,000 steps a day for a whole week. Every week, not average 10,000 steps for the week. I would like to actually get it every single day. The reason, 1, clout, then I can say I did it. But 2, I feel like by pushing through this, trying to figure this out, I'm going to learn things about why is it so easy some days and why is it so hard on other days? What's working, what's not? And I'll take you along for that journey and share my experience, my thoughts. And of course, I would love for you to chime in on what's working and not working for you, because this is part of me trying to hit an average of 10,000 steps for the year. I looked back at all the data over the last 10 years. And when I look through the data, 1, I have no weeks where I actually hit 10,000 steps every single day for a week, which is crazy. 2, I have averaged 10,000 steps for a month, but the most amount of months I've ever done in a year is 3 months. So my question to myself is like, why is it so hard to hit it throughout a week? That's what I want to try to solve for me, at least this week. And for you, what I would like to do is answer tons of questions, because I've been walking 10,000 steps in a day for many, many months now. I re-kicked off on the Get Healthy for Me journey about a year ago, and I've been hitting 10,000 steps a lot of days, and I've been doing really good this year. And I'm in a good place that I might be able to hit an average of 10,000 steps a day for the year. But I need to figure out what's going on with these things, because there are still, even though I'm doing really good this year, there are still weeks where it's Sunday night and I'm pacing circles so I can hit an average of 10,000 steps for the week, or it's the end of the month and I'm pacing around my house trying to get 4,000 steps all of a sudden so that I can hit the average for the month. And I don't want to keep doing that. I mean, I will do it, but I don't want that to be like, right, the idea is to like make your life healthier, not to like be staring at your watch trying to get a certain number of steps. Hi, day 1. I figured we go for a walk and I answer some questions that you may have. So let's start there. So hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm on a journey to get healthy by getting back into walking 10,000 steps a day on average. But this week, definitely hitting at least 10,000 steps a day and getting back into running. A 5K, a 10K, maybe a half marathon. But the theme of this year is really 10K. Average 10,000 steps for the year and run a really good 10K race. Now, if you're getting back into walking or getting into walking 10,000 steps, you may be wondering, 10,000 steps, how long does that take? So I've done some math. I did the mathing. I got the calculator out. I clickety-clack-clacked. I actually got on the treadmill. I did a test just to see. And if you're walking about 3 miles per hour, or you're walking briskly like this, you might get it done in about an hour 45. And that means that's going to be the way you're going to get all your steps. Like, you're not going to do anything else. You're just going to get out of your bed, go walk briskly for an hour 40, and then you're done. And then you go right back to bed. That would be about how long it takes. So it could take about an hour 40, but like, how far is that? Now, this is based off of my legs, and I'm a little bit taller than the average lady. So if you're doing this, I would say a mile is about 2,000 steps-ish. And if you're trying to hit 10,000 steps, if we divide that by 2,000, that's 5 miles. If you're short, you're like, oh no, does that mean I have to walk further? No, actually, by having shorter legs, you'll actually go less distance and hit your 10,000 steps. People with longer legs will go farther, in theory. But then it also depends on how you walk. Like, do you take short steps? Do you take long steps? But on average, easy math, about 5 miles in a day. And hearing that, if I knew that when I first got started, I might feel a little overwhelmed by just being like, so I have to go out and just do like a 5 mile walk right now? And the answer is no. No, you don't. You're going to, get steps doing this and that, like just like your normal life. I would say easily, and you tell me if it's different, if you're like a numbers girly and you like doing the trackety track. or you're a numbers guy. I would say just life, just a normal life, not going to work. You're just having a very slow Sunday. You're hanging out. You're going to get probably 2,000 steps just going to the bathroom, getting food, getting water, going back to the bathroom, and moving about. I feel like that's a very, like you could count on 1,500 to 2,000 steps a day just from that piece. So boom, that's 4 miles. That's 8,000 steps you got to figure out. Does that mean you got to do it all at once? No. I find that it typically, when I was getting into it, trying to do a 30-minute walk of some sort is going to make some really good progress. I feel like you're going to feel good. I feel good when I just like, let's get on the walking pad. Let's take the dogs for a walk for 30 minutes. And we're going to probably knock out 2,500 to 3,000 steps doing that. And if we do that twice a day, that's 5,000 to 6,000 steps. Boom, done. Boom, done, right? Like, how are we feeling about that? We feel good about that? I think we should feel good about that. Which, if you watch a lot of people's videos, you're going to find out that like the 10,000 steps came from the Olympics in Japan and some device and blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to recount the story. You're going to see someone else's video. They're going to go into it in detail. And then they're going to say, but by actual research, you only really need 7,500 or 8,000 steps. And bam, you're there. You're there. I'm going to tell you, my husband, he doesn't try to hit 10,000 steps a day. He only tries to hit 8,000, 7,000, 7,000, 8,000. Oh my gosh, do we actually like each other? How come I don't know this number? And that's one of the things I would say. When I first started back into this a year ago, I didn't try to hit 10,000 steps on the first day. I looked at like what my average was. And this is a Fitbit Lux. It's a Fitbit. It's good to just wear it for like a week before you even try to do stuff, just to get what we call your baseline. What's normal for you? And find out what that average is, and then try to just add onto it. Because sometimes if we're going from like only getting 3,000 steps a day and then we're trying to get 10,000, like that might be overwhelming. And me, I'm a lady who's all about slow change, giving your body time to adjust, making it fun, nice, and part of your life, and not a miserable thing you have to do every day. Because miserable things that you have to do every day, as soon as we don't have to do them, or we feel we don't have to do them, we stop doing them. So I'd say if you're at 3,000 steps, I'd work on getting to 4,000 steps on average, or 5,000, and so on and so forth. You know, add an extra 1,000, 2,000, and that's how I started when I got back into it. Just like I'm going to add a little bit. Let's hit that consistently for a couple weeks or a week, and then I'm going to add a little more, and then I'm going to add a little more, and that's how I would get started. Just getting a little bit more until you work your way up to your 10,000 step average. And me, when it came to doing most of my steps, I've talked about this before. I have a child who's autistic, so I do actually most of my steps in the house on a walking pad. And I find that works really well for me. But you might hate. I know a lot of people call the treadmill a dreadmill. I don't mind it. I just put on videos and I watch. I find it very relaxing and peaceful to just like, you know, get on there, watch one of my videos, watch, you know, a TV show I want to catch up on, and just get some steps in. Yeah, that's how I do it. So you can do them indoors, you can do them outdoors. Shoes, you might want to get if you need walking shoes or stuff like that. Me, I'm a Florida girly, so here I am outside. I'm just wearing sandals. Basically, I don't have running shoes or walking shoes. I have sandals and I have work boots. And that's what I have. And when I do my walking pad at home, I do it barefoot. That's what I do. That's how I've been working it. Am I telling you should do it that way? No, I'm just saying you have more options than maybe you think you have. But those things I feel like are the good things to get you started off. And for me, that's kind of how I started. I had my walking pad, I had my Fitbit, I had my feet, and I just started walking and I just started working on my average. But for me right now, we are trying to consistently hit 10,000 steps a day. And for day one, I feel like I'm off to a great start. The 5,000 steps done. Okay, run is done. And I think this is just what always shows me is that like when I have like dedicated times early in the day to get steps done, it makes it a lot easier to get steps done. Because even with the cool down walk, we're already at like 6,000 steps. I mean, I'm going to go walk the dogs in a little bit after breakfast. And I mean, and this is what I've seen is like, I always hit like that 8,000 steps, which makes it like mind blowing that like how much my job keeps me sitting. that like I still can't. I'll be like at the end of the night being like, how did I not hit 10,000 steps a day? So I feel like first piece of how to make sure I can hit my 10,000 steps a day is like runs or having a 30-minute walk. It's going to put me in a really good position to eat up a lot of those steps early in the day. But I got to figure out like, why can I not hit it? Now today, I feel like I'll hit the 10,000 steps because the kids don't have school today. It's a holiday. I still have to do work. So we'll sit a little bit, but not too much. We want to have quality time with the family on a holiday where everybody's off. So I'm going to try to knock out some of that stuff early in the day, which is all like me just sitting at the desk going clackety clack, 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 clack. And then we'll see where we land later on. Okay, just checking in. It's like 4 o'clock and I've hit, well, imagine you can see this, but I've hit 10,000 steps because we've been playing Darth lightsaber in the dark freeze tag with balloons. Okay. Oh, okay. And so I hit 10,000 steps. Hi. Day 2. How are we doing? I'm doing good. We've definitely hit our 10,000 steps yesterday. So let's work on our 10,000 steps for today. Question. Will 10,000 steps help me lose weight? The answer for me, for you, is it depends. What a boring answer. I want a magic pill. I want a magic bullet right now that can make me lose 10 pounds immediately, but that's not going to work. So 10,000 steps, can it help you lose weight? It can absolutely. I think the big thing is like, how different is it from what it is you are doing today? If you are walking 2,000 steps before you started this journey, and now you're up to 10,000 steps, and this is a significant amount of activity, sure, absolutely, it will help you lose weight. If you're running ultra marathons, and then you go to just walking 10,000 steps a day, probably not. But the big thing is it has to go hand in hand with what you're eating. Am I saying you have to eat salads for every meal? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that if you walk 10,000 steps a day and then eat 20 pounds of, I was going to say ice cream, but then I was like, well, maybe I'll make it a healthy example, but I don't know what the caloric, like how many calories 20 pounds of salad would get you. So let's just say, like, if you eat a ton of food and that's different than what you were doing before, like, you won't necessarily lose weight. The thing that walking is going to do for you, or at least does for me, is one, I'm a person, if I sit at a desk all day, like, I start to get really anxious. Like, I get really anxious, very hyper, very fidgety. I need to move. And so in one of my old jobs, like a while ago, moving was built into it. I used to work in a factory. It took a while to walk out to like where I worked. If one of the machines is having problems, you're picking up stuff that's heavy, you're moving. Like, you just, getting to meetings was like a 5 to 10 minute walk because it was a huge factory. It was really easy to like do stuff, like not work out and like have healthy activities as part of your life. And I just noticed like I tended to be in a better mood overall. When I have had desk jobs, like currently, the thing is, what happened is I started to get really anxious. I get less productive. I need to move to feel calmer, happier, whatever. Yeah. So for me, mood-wise, that helps. It also, I noticed, just walking regularly, it does make me feel like a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a rabbit in a hat. Who knows the 90s? But I wish it was like, I did feel like if I thought about walking upright, especially when I'm on my walking pad, it was a little bit easier to focus. Doing this, not as easy to focus on. But I would tell you, it was just me being quiet, watching a video, or me walking the dogs, like thinking about, hey, just stand up a little bit straighter, kind of let that core stretch. That whole, have you ever heard people like, imagine you're a puppet and you're being hung from strings and blah, 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 to help you feel taller? That, yeah. So I did feel like that helped with some posture stuff and just like helping even out muscle aches and stuff like that. I would say it helps with that, for me at least. If you've been starting to do your 10,000 steps, what are you noticing is different? And maybe, I guess we talked good side. What about the dark side of 10,000 steps a day? What pains, what aches does it cause? For me, when I first got back into it, I would say the bottoms of my feet, especially because I was doing it barefoot on a walking pad, I would say that was more of my pain. And then a little bit of ankles and knees, but usually like if I rested, got a good night's sleep, didn't go like make huge changes. Like there were some days like I got 15,000 steps on a day. Yeah, I definitely felt it in some of my joints, but if I rested, it tended to go away. Also, my husband has one of those like massage gun thingies. That helps too, because you'll find like there's like a muscle and it's not happy. And so I did have that. But I would say any aches and pains I have these days, now that I've been doing it consistently, they're very transient. They like, it might be like, oh, my calf's kind of feeling weird today, or, my hip's feeling kind of weird today, but like it always goes away within like 24 hours. And it's never like, oh my gosh, should I see a doctor? Do I need an x-ray kind of thing? It's always just like, that's not comfortable. And that's the thing, is that no matter where you're at, like, yes, it's nice to have this goal of 10,000 steps or 7,000 steps or whatever it's going to be. The big thing for me that I have found that has made me the most successful this time around with getting healthy is taking my time with making adjustments. Like, I'm not trying to solve the world and fix everything in a day. Just add little bits. Be kind to yourself, because that's what I did to myself this time around. In the past 10 years ago, when I used to work out a lot more, I would push myself. I would, high intensity. And I burned out on that stuff. It made my days harder. It made me so burned out that I wouldn't be able to do anything else in life, like clean my apartment back then, or I feel exhausted at work. Like, that's not a great way to live your life, is that you're putting everything into your workout. I have found this time around with both walking and now getting back into running, by doing small little changes, I'm having way more success. And I like it that way. I like that I don't feel like I can't get anything done for the rest of the day because I exercise. I feel way more energetic these days. I definitely feel healthier overall. And is it all the 10,000 steps? Absolutely not. But I think it's just a piece of doing many things. But 10,000 steps is, I feel like, a really good goal. And it's a very like achievable, not just achievable, like it's easy to see your progress. Like other types of things that make you healthier, I feel like it's a little bit harder. Like, am I making progress? Am I not making progress? But whether you got 1,000 more steps today or not. Well, assuming you got a tracker. If you didn't get a tracker, then I have no idea how you can tell these things. But if you got a tracker, I feel like, yeah, you'll know. You'll have a good game plan. You'll be like, yeah, I'm doing good. I'm making progress. And all the other stuff, how my clothes fit, the number on the scale, how my heart feels, other things, like they come in time. And then one morning you wake up and you're like, dang, I feel good. Are you feeling good? I hope you are. We're at the end of day 2, and it is a successful day. We definitely got 10,000 steps. I feel not good right now, honestly. Let me first give you my official number. My official number is 16,400 steps, which we should all be going, yay! But I have like a raging headache right now, and I'm not really sure. I don't think it's just from the steps. I think it's from being out in the sun all this time to get the steps. The kids' field day after having run, plus for my job, I had to go do something outside for an hour. And the field day at the school was like 3 hours out in the sun. And then I came home, and then I had to do another thing outside for my job. And it was a lot of hours outside in the sun. And it is like literally awful right now outside. Like, the sun is so intense. But I mean, for a day 2, hooray, 60,000 steps. I mean, like, we're definitely hitting our 10,000 steps. I have lots of confidence we can hit 10,000 steps a day. Question is, can I do it for 7 consecutive days? That's really the thing. Yep. And I think the thing that like this just reminds me is like something I figured out like a lot of years ago. I don't always put it into practice, but I figured it out, which was that when the steps are part of like the thing you have to do throughout the day, like your job, it makes it really easy to get them. When it becomes like a thing you have to do, that's not like part of whatever else you're doing, then it's like a big chore. So I feel like the wins for the day is like, yes, I went running and that helped me get like a lot of steps really early on, but it really helped a lot to have an activity like the kids' field day. And at the field day, I was in charge of the relay race. So there was like lots of opportunities just to get steps without even trying. And then having stuff for my work today that like, it just had me walking outside a lot, which super fun. But also it was just like, I wasn't thinking about getting steps. It was more like I have to go get this stuff done. And that caused me to walk a lot. So, I mean, if you're thinking about getting your 10,000 steps, like just to understand that it is easier when it's part of the things you have to do. And that might not be the thing people want to hear. It takes me back to a long time ago. My old job, I walked a lot. And then I moved to a desk position. And I remember like how much of a struggle it was to get like 5,000 steps in a day versus the other role I had, like, because I used to work in a factory, like 7,000 steps a day, 8,000 steps a day. I wouldn't even have to think about it. Like that would just be like a super lazy day in the plant. So just something to think about. Okay, I'm like really tired now, so I'm going to go to bed. Day 3? Why does this week seem so long? Day 3, I did a run and it's good. I did a run because I got 5,000 steps because of the run. The not good thing is I'm like already really tired from yesterday and my hamstring started to cramp up. And also I'm running out of time. So I didn't get to walk my dogs before it got like a bajillion degrees and the asphalt was like the surface of the sun. So now they're not getting a walk, which means I'm not going to get those steps, which means I might end up having to go on the walking pad. I don't like summertime. I don't know about where you live, but where I live in Florida, I feel like I always gain weight and like get less activity in the summertime. I always explain this to like my relatives from Illinois that, it's kind of like reverse. It's kind of like the reverse, right? Like we do activities in the summertime, but in general, we like to stay in the house because it's just awful out, especially in the middle of the day. It's so awful out. So I have a lot of stuff I have to do sitting down at a desk today. So it'll be more challenging, but the run was good because it got me ahead. But man, was it hard to do it because I got like a bajillion steps. And I feel like that's a friendly reminder to myself and maybe to you that overachieving on one day can undermine the next day. But I think we're still in a good position to get 10,000 steps today. So we'll see what the day has. I feel that my worries are valid. My worries were rightly placed on today. Good start this morning. Definitely got my run in. Definitely ended my run with a little walk. Was at 5,000 steps. But was up in the middle of the night with my autistic son. And so was late getting up, which meant that when I started my run, didn't leave time to walk the dogs. So didn't get the dog walk in, which is like 1,000, 1,500, depending on which dog or dogs are walking with me. But we were in a good spot. Got back, started working, knew I had a very like sitting down heavy day with the work that I had to do. Thought I would be okay. I think I might have turned my notifications off on my Fitbit because it's supposed to tell me like, hey, you've been sitting too long. Get up, go walk 250 steps. And I didn't get any of that. So I must have had it in do not disturb mode, which I kind of felt like do not disturb me today. But here we are. It's almost 8 o'clock and I'm at 8,000 steps. When I sat down to start doing like work at a desk today, I was already at 7,000 steps. So that means all day, I have not really moved around a lot. I got a lot of work done. So that's really good. I'm very on track with my work. I am not on track with my 10,000 steps. But because it's so miserably hot and I've showered already and put on pajama type clothes, I'm not going outside. I'm not going to go outside and walk in this heat and this humidity. I don't care that the sun's already starting to go down, which means we're now on day 3, going to start doing laps around the house. Hooray. Okay, here we go. We are officially just walking and walking and walking through the house, just doing stuff. Hooray. The nice thing is in my house, I kind of have this like little loop thing that I can do. If you have a house or an apartment with a very easy and obvious loop, you'll get to know exactly how many steps it has, especially when you want to try to hit a specific target. Because you'll be doing this at some point when you're all initially motivated and you'll be like, I have to get that last 1,000 steps. My son figured it out from my bedroom to his bedroom. It's like 45 normal steps. So we're going to be making a lot of loops. I'll spare you the torture of seeing me walk in circles, but just trust that in the little black spot or cut that happens, that's just me doing this over and over again. Okay, see you soon. I did it. I walked around in circles for 15 minutes, so I did it. But then we played tag, so I got more steps. So I'm at almost 11,000. So that's really good. Good way to end the day. I'm really tired. Need to go to bed. So I'm going to do that. See you tomorrow. And as we get to the middle end of the week, let's talk about motivation. How do you stay motivated? How do I stay motivated? I think this really comes back to that whole easing into things. I really can't stress this enough. If you think, because I feel like this has been, well, at least when I was starting to get into health many years ago, it was a lot about like, willpower, you need to toughen up. Bleh. And I have found, as someone who has a lot of willpower, who is very persistent and is very good at not quitting things, that did not help me be consistent. That helped me achieve things quickly. I don't know if I would say results. I would say things. Like, could I walk? Could I jump higher? Could I kick higher? Whatever workout I was doing back when. But did it make me more consistent? No, actually, honestly, it often led to me feeling way more overwhelmed than anything. I'm over 40 now. I'm married. Who am I trying to impress? Is this for me or is this for somebody else? And the answer was, it's for me. And if it's for me, I'm like, what's the rush? The point of this is so that I build habits that are going to be with me for the rest of my life, which hopefully is going to be very long and healthy and mobile and active and able to do things. And if that's the case, then why do I need to get a program done in 4 weeks or 30 days or 8 weeks or whatever? Like, I need to do stuff that day in, day out moves the needle. Maybe that's just age. Maybe that's just wisdom. I don't know. But I'm telling you, that's what works for me this time around. Small changes, consistently making small changes, and then sticking to those small changes and doing the small changes in a way that are integrated into my life, like making good habits. I feel like this isn't anything new. I'm not telling you anything shocking. You've probably heard it before. But I will just say as like a testimony here, like by doing it in small ways and easing into it, taking a year to then have like, I'm going to go and hit 10,000 steps on average. Like, I didn't even make that goal for 6 months after I started getting back into walking. Back then, the goal was just like, get to 10,000 steps in a day. Then it was like, hey, can we average 10,000 steps more regularly? And now it's like, okay, can I actually hit 10,000 steps every day of the week, right? Like, let's not just hit them many of the days of the week. Let's try to hit it every day of the week. And not because it has to be that forever, right? Because you might be wondering, do you hit 10,000 steps every day of the week? Absolutely not. Obviously, that's why we're here, because I'm doing an experiment to see if I can hit it for 7 days in a row. And I like doing these little mini challenges because it helps me see what's working. Like, when I do certain things, it's really easy for me to hit 10,000 steps a day. And when I do other things that are part of my normal week, it's not so easy to hit my 10,000 steps for the day, you know? And if that's the case, is there something I need to change? Is there something I want to change? And also, like, let's be real. I talked about this before. I have an autistic child, like, who's special needs. He's level 2. And if you're not familiar with level 2, the levels are just like how much support they need. So level 1 needs less support. Level 3 needs the most support. Level 2, like Goldilocks, is it just right mouse support? No, it's like, it's in the middle. So he still needs a lot of support. We go to multiple therapies every single week, right? So it's like, is this reasonable? Is this realistic? Is this the thing to focus on? Or maybe I just need to cut out a snack or change my snack to a healthier snack. I don't know. But like, what's the healthy thing to do? So that's why I like doing these challenges, is just kind of, I don't know, test the system and see what's working, what's not. Instead of on Sunday night looking at it and going, oh my gosh, I haven't hit my 70,000 steps for the week. Am I going to just have to go on the walking pad for an hour? And is that what I really want to do right now? And am I exhausted from all the other things? So long story short, I mean, I kind of circled around with consistency, but the reason I talk about the consistency thing is because I think that leads to the motivation thing. Because if it's a huge task to go get those 10,000 steps, it makes it a lot harder for you to stay motivated. When you're talking about like, oh, I just need to get up and get dressed and just do my normal routine, and that's going to get me 8,000 steps in a day or 10,000 steps in a day, then you don't need as much motivation for that, you know? So is it easy to stay motivated? Yes, because I eased into it. I built it into my life in a way that it's getting easier and easier. It's also a lot easier now that I've started adding running back in. If you didn't watch my last video, you may not know, but I, a year ago, started working on getting 10,000 steps. And 6 months ago, I started running again. And with the running, similar idea. I started running just 1 minute, 3 times a week, then 2 minutes, then 3 minutes. You get the idea. So by week 10, I'm running 10 minutes, 3 times a week. And now I'm up to running 5 times a week. So when I have running days, super easy to get 10,000 steps. Well, sometimes not. Sometimes I look at my watch at the end of the day, my little Fitbit here, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't have 10,000 steps yet. Didn't I run for 30 minutes this morning? How is that possible? But it makes it a lot easier, I will tell you, to get 10,000 steps when you do running activities. It just eats the steps up. Like yummy. Okay, but let's talk about like kind of more the logistics of how am I getting those 10,000 steps in. So let me break it up into like pre-running and then during running, because I feel like right now you might be in the phase of like the pre-running. So, but I also will give you kind of what happens now with the running, because that will help you understand how it works better. So in the days where I wasn't running, I was just walking, the way I got my 10,000 steps is 1, morning walk with the dogs. That was 2,000 steps. Bam. Evening walk with the dogs. 2,000 steps. Bam. So we're already at 4,000, 40% done. A walk during lunchtime. I tried doing the walking with the working thing, like while on the computer. That didn't work for me. I had a really hard time with the movement. It was very distracting to me. I did do it on meetings. It worked, and that was a good way to get steps. I know that's not achievable. Like if I worked in the factory still, I obviously could not have a walking pad out in the factory. So that may be a thing you can do or can't do. But 2,000 steps with the dogs in the morning, 2,000 steps in the evening with the dogs, 4,000. 1 walk around lunchtime, and trying to do that for like 30 minutes, 3,000 steps. Bam. Now we're at 7,000. See? Look at that. Now we only got 3,000. Just going to the bathroom, getting food, getting my kids to school, that usually equaled another 2,000. Now we're at 9,000. And usually I'm using rough numbers, but like average that all out and that's like it. So 20-minute walk with the dogs in the morning, 20-minute walk in the evening, 30-minute walk in the middle of the day, and then just life. And that usually hit it. Sometimes though at the end of the night, I'm sitting there going like, looking at my watch and I'm like, oh, I gotta go pay. Like the amount of times that I got the kids to bed, I'm now going to walk over to go put myself to bed. And it's like, you have 9,500 steps. You have 9,200 steps, and just being like, oh my gosh. And then pacing circles just to finish off. Yes, did that. Been there, done that. Most days I hit it. I will tell you there were times though. I was at 9,899. I was like, I don't even care. I'm too tired today. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. So you might be on one of those days, and look at the thing. The thing is it's just because it doesn't hit 10,000 steps doesn't mean it doesn't count. But you may have questions like, with doing a 20-minute walk, 20-minute walk, 30-minute walk, would they get boring? Like, what do you do during those? For me, walking pad, I'm all about, let me watch my video. If I'm not having to attend to the kids, this is a time when I can just like watch what I want to watch. You know? We're just going to watch what I want to watch. And I did. I watched what I wanted to watch. That's what I would do. As I get my little walking pad, I just open up my laptop and I would put on a video or a TV show, and I'm bam. So I watched my Real Housewives. I watched other people walking 10,000 steps. Hey, are you doing that right now? That was a lot of motivating, especially in the beginning when it was just like, and you just need someone to be like, hey, you can do this. You got this. It might be tough in the beginning, but you're going to get there. And that's going to be part of your life. And it's going to be great. So here you go. This is that moment for you. When I walk the dogs, a lot of times I just listen, I don't know, podcasts, whatever, music. But sometimes just listening to nature, you know, the birds chirping. And being like, hey, they sound pretty today. Oh, I hear a bird right now. Sounds like a grackle. So that's the usual stuff I would do. I try to then make my mind more about like it was me time. And that kind of changed my mindset about the walking. So instead of it being like, oh, I have to do this for me. I have to do this so I can lose a pound or 2 pounds or 10 pounds or 20 pounds. Now it became more like, hey, this is my time to have a break from the kids and the shenanigans. Ben's got it. And I'm just gonna rest. I'm just gonna relax. I'm just gonna have a little me time. And that was really nice, honestly. Welcome to my office, which is apparently my closet. So it is Thursday. I haven't even taken my shower before I take my kids to school yet. And I've already hit 10,000 steps. I know. Overachieving here. Was up multiple times last night. Super fun. Dog. Autistic child. All the things. So after the last time of getting my son to bed, I definitely was awake and I was like, you know what? I'm really tired. I shouldn't be doing my speed run today. So instead, I was like, I'll slow it down. I'll go and do my slow run. And then I'll actually make my slow run slower. And actually, I'll just run 4 miles. It made sense at the time when I was on the treadmill. And so I got 8,000 steps from running 4 miles, which I think if you didn't know, usually if you're jogging, at least with my length legs, it's about 2,000 steps for a mile. Yeah. So I knocked those out and then I walked the dog and then bing, bing, boom, we're done. So that's good. My legs are tired. I'm tired. I'm going to crash later. So I'll let you know where we end for the day. Meeting adjourned. So I was about to come on here and tell you guys that I've gotten another 2,000 steps beyond the original 10,000. And then I checked my Fitbit and I'm up to 14,000 steps. You know, I think the good thing is that this is a week that is, if I could hit 10,000 steps every single day without really going above and beyond, this would be the week. I feel that I may crash on Saturday or Sunday. This has been a very long week. We'll see. We'll take the 14,000. Very exciting. 4 days in a row. Definitely got it. Definitely going to hit 70,000 steps for the week. Question is, will I hit 10,000 steps for 7 days? We'll see. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Yeah, definitely hit my steps today. Definitely hit my steps. So today was a day where we were celebrating my autistic son hitting his 21st safe food, which is very exciting. He's one of those autistic kids who has an eating disorder. He's been doing eating therapy since he was a baby, literally, pretty much since he was a baby. And he got to his 21st safe food. We did a big celebration day, which meant there were so many steps. So many steps. I'm at just under 18,000 steps for the day. I feel good about this. I feel like I'm definitely going to hit 10,000 steps for 7 days in a row. I feel like this can happen. Now, those 17,000 steps, 18,000 steps, well, a lot of them were in the sun. So I'm feeling very tired. Clearly, I've already taken a shower because it's very hot out and gross. And so also because he has safe foods, when we went to the park to spend the day there, we have to bring in all of his food. So all the snacks, all the lunches, everything. So I was carrying so much food around all day on my back. It was probably, you know how people, I hear people talk about weighted vests. Just get a backpack, shove all the food your kid's going to eat in a day in it. It gets really heavy really fast. Then throw in a couple souvenirs and whoo, I definitely carried 5 to 10 pounds easily all day. I feel good. We're doing good this week. I feel like this is a week. If there was a week for me to hit 7 days of 10,000 steps, I feel like this is the week that it can happen because there's so many things this week that are oh no, you're not going to barely hit your 10,000 steps. You're going to hit almost. How many days have I been so close? I mean, this is not a normal week. Can I just be very clear with everyone? This is not a normal week for me. So if you're getting into walking 10,000 steps, this isn't normal. And if you're saying wow, it seems so easy for you, this is a very weird week for it to happen. It just so happens I did this challenge and then this is happening. So it's making it ridiculously easy to get the numbers. I still have a watch out though. And this is maybe going to be relevant for you because do you have your kids' field day this week? Have to run around a bunch of steps? Are you going to be spending your whole day at a park carrying a weighted backpack all day? Probably not. Probably not. But one of the things is you may have weeks as you're on this journey for 10,000 steps where it's going really well. And what I always find the watch out is Saturday, and that's tomorrow, and Sunday. Because it's if I can keep it up Monday through Friday, there's just such a need for rest on the weekend. And we should rest, right? We should rest. But also, I want to hit at least 10,000 steps. I feel Saturday, I feel kind of good about Saturday. Sunday, I don't know. Sundays, that could be the day that just unravels it all. Because that's my thing right now is I've had so many days of hitting
ridiculous amounts of steps, like my body's starting to get real tired. And like maybe we need I don't know. My kid just got into Star Wars. He wants to see all the Star Wars movies now. And like maybe we're going to end up watching like a whole bunch of Star Wars this weekend. I'm not really sure. And I can just see. So more to tune in. But I guess, yay. I got so many steps. It's great. Yeah. Okay, good night.
So it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I have just hit 2,000 steps. The crash is real. I was so tired, and I got woken up twice last night. Twice. I think it's really just school ending, autistic child, transitions are happening. He starts waking up more. Super fun times. So I was tired, slept in late. Plus my body was tired. This week has been a week of a lot of overachieving on steps, and I'm kind of over it, and my body's kind of over it. But I'm doing this challenge this week, and so I'm committed to get this done. So here I am on my walking pad, working to finish this. Whoop. And not fall off. Second goal, don't fall off. First goal, don't fall off. Second goal, hit 10,000 steps. So now I shall be here for a while. I'll check back in with you later. So just for funsies, I did a little test to see how fast I'm walking right now in 10 minutes and at 3 miles per hour, 1,097 steps. So my original estimates from earlier, correct. About 10 minutes at a solid pace, get you about 1,000 steps. I'm so far behind. I think if I can walk until I get, 30 minutes, 3,000 steps, still really far off for today. Maybe I do another 30-minute walk later today. I don't know. I'm just going to keep walking and watching YouTube videos and see how far I can get before dinner time. Did we miss any days this week? No, we did not. We did it. We've hit our challenge, which means for the first time in forever. Yep, that was Frozen. We've hit it. We've done it. I was consistent. So no steps have been missed this week. We've had some highs. We've had some lows. It has been an exhausting week to try to do this challenge. It's exhausting sometimes. It's wearing, carrying weight in the backpack. Oh my gosh, how much weight I carried in that backpack all day. Yesterday was a struggle to get those steps. Like even when I got on the walking pad, I was exhausted. I still got my 10,000 steps yesterday, but I was exhausted doing it. My legs were tired. They were heavy. And this is a girl who can run 3 miles, no problem. And yet I was like, oh, I got to get on the treadmill and walk 2,000 steps. And I was exhausted doing it. Now, did I lose any weight this week? No, I lost 0 pounds, but I held my weight 100% flat all week. And you may know, at least for me, probably for you too, us ladies, I feel like we can retain a lot of water, then lose a lot of water, then retain a lot of water. So I feel like with getting a lot of steps and not retaining water, or I am retaining water and it's not making a difference on the scale, that's a win. 7 days, 10,000 steps, I'm done. But here's the thing, I've been working on this 10,000 step average for the year, and because I didn't really have this goal in January, I'm behind by a lot of steps. But I have a plan. And I think if I hit 15,000 steps for 7 days, I can make up the gap and average and be on track to average 10,000 steps for the year. Whether you're on your first step, your 10,000 step, or you're getting back into running, I hope that your journey is going amazing. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. So, okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.